Welcome back to Commercial Breaks with Miss Education. I'm Miss Education. Yay! Okay, so I've been teaching for a minute. This is year 20. I'm completing year 20 in education. And I can speak with confidence when I say to you that the people who are standing in front of your children day in and day out for 180 days a year, 6 to 8 hours a day, have a lot of power and influence over your children. That's 100%, and no one can tell me differently. I know for a fact on my end, I've had parents call me and were like, Jen, I need your help with my child. Like, they're not cleaning their room. Can you talk to them? And I'm in my head, okay, not understanding my power, right? I'm like, why are you calling me for that? I'm just a teacher. I'm their math teacher. Why would they care what I have to say? I would speak to the child will clean their room, right? I did this one thing on, we had these these little blocks, free blocks where you could just teach any course. And I just did this Netflix session where we were talking about food, like what's in our food and like fast food and all that stuff and about meat. And if I tell you, I did not get so many complaints. I got so many complaints from parents. Like, Jen, because of you, our kid says they're not going to eat meat. And in our culture, we eat meat with every meal. I'm like, I didn't tell your kid not to eat meat. I just showed them a documentary. We just talked about it. I didn't tell them not to eat meat. Shoot, I eat meat. I ate meat, right? So stuff like that. Like, I've had students say to me, Miss, and these are like Black Haitian boys, right? Who have like, I will never, ever date I would never marry a Black woman, never mind a Haitian woman. All you Black women are blah, 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 blah. This is what these kids used to tell me. Fast forward, and I'm giving you a specific example. I can think of one kid specifically who years later was like, Miss, I want to say because of you and seeing the love you have for your students and the way you are as a woman, I could actually see myself marrying a Black woman and a Haitian at that, right? I've had students who were like, oh, actually not even students. I've had a coworker, a colleague of mine who's atheist say to me, I don't believe in God, but if you exude even a small portion of the love of God and who God is, and I might just believe in him, right? And again, I'm saying this because this is 6 to 8 hours a day, 180 days a year with the same person. I promise you, the teachers in front of your children have power and influence over your children. I promise you, I am a testimony of that. I have influenced so many young people. So many young people. And I experience it in my own life. Sometimes when I'm like, I need my boys to read more, I call their teacher. I'm like, listen, can you just assign this and tell them that whatever, like make something up. I just need them to read more. And they do. And they all of a sudden, everything the teacher says makes sense. And I'm like, yo, but I've been saying that, but no one wants to hear me. So again, the power of a teacher. And why I'm saying this is because, here we go. This is the fun part. Hypothetical. So I had asked a few people, friends, family, acquaintances, I had asked them this question. If you found out that your, 6, 7, 8-year-old's teacher was engaging in sexual activities with, a Furby? Or furry, how would you feel about that? And for those of you who don't know what furries are, aka my mom and them, let me see if I can find a picture. I'm gonna find a picture. Here's a furry. Does it show? This is a furry. Okay, that's one type of furry. That is a furry. Okay, so they're individuals who are, I see there's another furry. They're individuals who put on these costumes and they do what they do, right? One more, furry. So my question to you is, if you were to find out, give me a second. I need to pause for a second. Okay, I had to pause because someone walked in. Anyway, so yeah, those are furries. So again, if you found, you the parent, get wind or find out that your child, your young child's teacher is out in these streets having sexual relations with furries, meaning they're fully dressed in their costume, and that your daughter's, your son's teacher is engaging in sex with the costume thing, how would you respond? What would you do? So overall, this is what I've been getting. I've been getting the response of, oh, well, if my child's test scores are still good, my child's reading, my child's learning, then what the teacher does on his or her spare time is their business. Cool, I get that, fine. Then I asked the question, what would you do if you found out that on weekends, your child's teacher was the, I don't know, the head of a local KKK chapter, right? Ku Klux Klan chapter. What would you do then? Oh, everyone's like, oh, no. My child could not be, blah, blah, blah. I said, wait, no. But if their child is still reading and test scores are high and, academically they're doing well, what's the problem? Right? What's the problem if your child's teacher is the ringleader to the KKK chapter in your town? There should be no problem with that, right? But everyone has a problem with that. But 99% of people I spoke to did not have a problem with that same teacher or whatever engaging in sexual relations with a stuffed animal or a human stuffed animal, whatever. No one had a problem with that. And here's my argument to that, or here's my point to this. As a teacher, for instance, I'm a Christian. I work in a public school, but trust and believe everybody knows I'm a Christian. Like it comes out. It is who I am, right? It is part of, like, I can't deny that part of me. So unintentionally, I project that on my students, right? I don't shove it down their throats, but understand and believe that all my students know that Miss H is a Christian. Hands down, she's a Christian. And I say this because whoever we are, we end up showing up in front of our children, and meaning our students, 180 days, 6 to 8 hours a day. Believe me, we end up showing off and showing up to these students. So if your child's teacher is the leader of a KKK chapter, you're pretty sure that somewhere, somehow, their views are going to seep out, and children are going to receive that message, whatever that message is. And if you're not down with the message, what do you do? Also, right, these are my views. If the teacher is out in these streets sleeping with animal stuff people, whatever, there's something not right with that. There's a perversion in the mind. If you can look at a stuffed animal, a stuffed human animal, whatever, and say, that is who I want to have sex with, while you're fully dressed in your animal outfit, there is a perversion of the mind. And to each his own, right? Like, that's what you do, that's fine. And the argument, people are like, well, Janet, we all have our secrets. Yes, we do, 100%. I had plenty of my secrets, right? Like I said, I've had abortion. I'm adulteress, suicidal ideation, like all of that. I've had that, but I don't go and spread that. I don't share my sins like that with my students. I don't promote my sins with my students. I don't do that. Not freely like that. No. So if you as a parent were to find out, really, and the only way that you, the parent, were to find out that the teacher is out in these streets sleeping with furries is because they were speaking about it. They were careless about it. They were careless about who and where they were talking about their personal business. Again, there are plenty of teachers out there right now who sleep with furries, and none of us know. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, if I don't know, I can't have a problem with something I don't know about. But if I know and I'm a parent, that means you're sloppy. You're sloppy with your hobbies. Whether you post it on, pictures of you and whatever, or I don't know how it got out. But if I know as a parent, that means you're sloppy, which means eventually you're going to, in your sloppiness, you are going to seep some of that out to my child. And I personally, again, these are just my views, I disagree with that. And I have the right as a parent to request that my child is moved out of that class. I do. And as an admin, I get to see it from behind the veil. If I complain enough, you will move my child. If I complain enough, you will move my child. I choose not to have my child in that environment. I choose not to have my child being, I know I'm going to say indoctrinated, and people are like, no, Jen, it's not indoctrination, whatever. I don't want my child exposed to your depravity of mind. I just don't. And yes, I know, Jen, it's not depravity. These are my views. I personally think if you are out there engaging in sexual relations with humans dressed as animals, and you are turned on by a human who is in an animal costume, right? So it's not like you're turned on by the human. You're turned on by a human who embodies an animal, aka you're attracted to animals, which is bestiality if you engage in sexual relations with that animal. I'm just taking it where it is. That's where it's going to end up. I have a problem with that. And I'm saying this because it is so important that whether you're a parent now or you're a guardian or you will become a parent one day, it is super important that you know who's in front of your child. You know who's influencing your child day in, day out, 180 days to 6 to 8 hours a day. I promise you that person has power over your child. I encourage you to get to know your teachers, get to know your children's teachers. Find out something about them. Because if you don't, one day your child's going to come home and they might tell you something that you fundamentally disagree with. I'm telling you, I am guilty of that, where parents have called me because their children are saying things that they don't agree with that I said. Meat, just be careful with the meat you eat, right? Processed food, not healthy, right? Whatever it is I've said. And children have gone home and they've said, Miss H said this, and so now I'm changing. I know this I know for a fact that teachers have power. So I'm just putting this out there. Who is teaching your child? Be very, very careful. Be mindful of who you let influence your baby. All right. Till next time. Commercial breaks with Miseducation. Bye.